Welcome to WomanVision TV. I'm your host, Nadia Giordana. My guest today, Lynette Crane, is an expert on shyness and self-esteem, in addition to stress and time management and heart disease in women. Today, though, we'll be talking to her about her newly released book, The Confident Introvert. Did you know that not all introverts are shy? Did you know that some extroverts are shy and even suffer from low self-esteem? If you or someone you know faces social challenges of this type, you'll want to hear what Lynette has to say. Hi Lynette, welcome to the show.
Hi Nadia, thanks for inviting me.
Lynette, I read something in your book that was talking about, and one of the questions I think that was posed was why some people appear to get ahead so easily, and then there are other people who struggle to get their talents recognized. Can you shed some light on some of the situations that might cause an environment like that?
Yes, well, one of the factors is that we need to make ourselves visible and we need to connect with other people. People's skills are very important in any field.
Yeah.
And in the United States culture, when a group assembles, extroverts tend to speak up quickly, to dominate conversations, to be out there, to connect with others, and they start being looked at as leaders by other people in the group who then direct questions towards them or responses, who start looking at them as providers of solutions and interesting people. And the introvert may actually be kind of ridden over in that kind of a situation.
This might be a good time or point for you to describe to us what the differences are between extroverts, introverts, and where does shyness fit in on all of this?
Oh, I love this question because it's an important one. Extroverts are people who get their energy from outside stimulation. They need other people and like other people and may feel very restless without those contacts. They also like stimulating activities. Some of them even like to engage in daredevil activities. Introverts, on the other hand, are people who need to let their energy tanks fill up by withdrawing from stimulation. They need their quiet time. Now, both of these are natural types. There's nothing wrong with them. Shyness, on the other hand, is social anxiety that keeps people from saying or doing what they want to do or say. Now, what's the relationship between introversion and shyness? Introverts are often labeled shy, whether it's true or not, simply because they are quiet. It's difficult to tell the difference, but in fact, if you're in a culture where you're constantly being labeled as shy and being subtly given the message that there's something wrong with you because you're a quieter person who needs to withdraw, then you can see that it's very easy to become socially anxious.
Oh, that's interesting too. I didn't realize that particular point of it. I can relate a lot to what you're saying because as I was growing up, I was always called shy. I do feel that I was shy. And as an adult, I called myself an introvert. And I've been learning some things about that from your book. I'm interested in wondering about you. What's your story?
My story is a long one. I would say, crippled by painful shyness for decades. And it came to a head when I was in a toxic relationship and realized that I needed to leave, was advised that I needed to leave. And immediately I thought, but I can't do that because I believed that I had no skills with which to get another relationship, painful though this one was. And the minute that thought came into my head, another thought came into my head. I was horrified at myself and I thought, but this is just another problem to solve. Now I'm very good at problem solving. I simply hadn't thought that relationships were a problem to be solved. I thought there was something that happened to normal people and I wasn't one of those people. I began to study it. I started a college class on shyness and self-esteem, and much later I decided to write the book. So that's how I got to this point.
Well, and with the climate the way it is in this country and so many stresses and pressures on people, what are some of the things that made you realize that this is a good time now to actually get the book published?
Yes, I was writing the book almost for myself. I just wanted to get the whole program that I had followed to make myself very, very confident out there, and I thought somebody will want this. I pictured college students perhaps, and I was bogged down until I came up with the title, The Confident Introvert, and it kind of excited me. So I decided to look on the internet to see what other people were writing about introversion. And when I did, oh my gosh, the internet was abuzz with this topic. It was very interesting. I started mentioning it to people, and I realized they needed the information, and they needed it right now. And it speeded me up to get the book out.
Oh, how great. Well, Lynette, maybe now would be a good time for you to give the viewers some tips and things that they can use if they get into difficult or awkward situations.
Well, the first thing to remember, Nadia, is that just about everybody's uncomfortable. At least that's the conclusion I've come to. You know, the more recent statistics show that shyness is on the rise in the United States. It's now up to 50% of Americans who admit that they are chronically shy. They have social anxiety in almost all situations all the time. Another 40%, I believe it is, have been shy at some time or are situationally shy in some situations now, but not in others. So when you go into any environment, you have to remember that a good 90% of the people there may be feeling uncomfortable. And that includes someone who looks like an extrovert. Now, a shy extrovert may cover up by telling jokes, clowning around, but there will be kind of a barrier between an intimate connection with you and that person. So first of all, reminding myself of that helps. And another technique I use is that when I go to a gathering, one of the things I like to do, and I learned this early on, is to go a little bit early and offer to help, become part of the greeting team, offer to hand out badges, information, hors d'oeuvres, or make drinks or whatever. And if you can't be part of the official team, make yourself an unofficial greeter. And that is, find out where things are, station yourself near the door, watch when people come in looking a little uncertain, and greet them and be willing to direct them. It's also a very good idea to look around the room and see somebody who is looking alone and a little uncomfortable and go over and rescue them. By putting yourself in the power seat, you take yourself out of the victim seat, which is what we often feel in when we're socially uncomfortable.
I really like that. And Lynette, I can thank you because I have used some of those techniques and they're very effective. I had no idea, though, of the numbers that you were talking about of people who are uncomfortable in social situations. So where can people get your book?
It's a digital book now, and it's at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Or if you don't have an e-reader, you can get it at www.confidentintrovert.com, and you can order a PDF download.
Oh, that's good too. And is there something that I might not have asked you that you'd like to add?
I'd love to add that I do have programs to make people confident introverts. They're forming all the time, and by going to confidentintrovert.com, you can be directed to a page that will tell you what's going on now or what's upcoming. I do write a weekly blog and e-zine, so I provide a lot of information for people.
And there are some other things that you do too, Lynette, is that correct?
That's correct. My original field was stress management, and introversion and shyness are a subcategory there, because to be an introvert is to be under a lot of stress in our society all the time. And to be shy is to be have low-level anxiety much of the time. That actually becomes a health issue because that's more devastating to your body than a few big shocks. It weakens your immune system, sets you up for random illnesses such as viruses, and it actually over time does undermine your overall health and set you up for chronic illnesses. But it's also just socially uncomfortable. It makes life less fun.
Well, it does. And I'm going to put your web addresses up on the screen. And thank you, Lynette, for being here today. That's the show for today. You're watching WomanVision TV. I'm your host, Nadia Giordana, leaving you with the question, what chapters are yet to be written in your life?